I am not the things my family did. I am not the voices in my head. I am not the pieces of the brokenness inside. I am light. I am light, I am light. I am light, I am light. I'm not the mistakes my family did. I am not the things that caused me pain. I am not the pieces of the dream I left behind. I am light. 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 I am not the color of my eyes. I am not the skin on the outside. I am not my age. I am not the race. All is right. All is right. All is right. I am light. I am light. I am divinity defined. I am the God on the inside. I am the star. I am the piece of it all. I am light. I am light.
Thank you, Yaron. You are indeed light, and thank you for bringing light to this experience known as the Center for Spiritual Living Los Angeles. I'm Reverend Dr. Keith Cox, and my official title is the spiritual leader for our beloved community here in Los Angeles, California. So happy to have you join us today, whether you're joining us through Zoom technology and or Facebook Live. It's a pleasure and an honor to have you with us today on this Sunday, August 23rd in the year 2020. For those of you that are joining us through Zoom, I'm so happy to know that you've made it through this morning, given that we had some technological challenges with the Zoom program deciding at the very last minute to change our meeting ID. So I know that you've been able to connect with us through the technological formats that we've sent out these links to you, and thank you for being on top of it and being here with us today. For those of you that are joining us via Facebook, we're happy to have you here through another technological wonder of Facebook, and are happy to have you with us today as we come together as we have for 30 plus years here in Los Angeles, each and every Sunday morning, to celebrate the light that exists within the individual by means of you and by means of me. And so it's a real honor and pleasure to have you here today sharing in this experience. And so I want you to know that we are a community that comes together every Sunday morning to honor who and what you are as a divine being on this planet, to let you know that there is only one power that exists in the universe, and it's the power of the divine. Dr. Ernest Holmes, the founder of the teaching of the science of mind, says that spirit has placed the stamp of individuality upon itself and called it you. So what we learn by that is that you and I are each individualizations of the only thing that there is. It's that very thing that we call spirit, we call light, we call life, we call love. And you are that, and I am that. And so let's come together this morning to have an opportunity to connect to that power that is within us and know that's who and what we are. The vision statement for our community is supporting individuals finding their personal self-empowerment through a spiritual awakening. And so today, let's you and I have the time that we spend together, knowing that we are coming together to do that. I apologize if I seem a bit distracted in that very moment. The slideshow that I had set up for us to run for some reason has just stopped working. So it seems like technology is giving us a real challenge today. So I'm going to see if I can reboot that as we settle into this morning. While we're doing that, I'd like to introduce you to our musicians that we have this morning. They're a true friend of and family to the Center for Spiritual Living Los Angeles. Since we last saw them, they've had a new addition to their family, and so I'd like to have them turn their camera on and say hello to us. It's Ira Gonzalez and Leah Zeger. Leah, Zeger, and Ira, as I said before, now have a new little baby that has joined us on the planet, and so you won't get to see her this morning, but you will indeed get to hear their beautiful voices and have them share their talent and spread the light of music that they have for us today. Good morning, Leah and Ira.
Morning.
Morning.
How are you today?
Great to be here. Thanks.
Great. It's good to have you here. I'm really looking forward to you sharing the gifts of the two songs that you have with our community in just a moment. So we'll bring you back on in just a moment.
Sounds great.
Thank you. So let's all just take a deep breath in together. And connect to the only thing that there is, which is life itself. So I'll take a moment and make sure that we have turned our cameras off on our other than me, on our computers as we settle into this morning. See that wild image coming from the screen. We welcome you once again this morning. As a community, what we teach is the philosophy known as the science of mind. It's a philosophy and a faith and a way of life, believing that there's only one thing that exists in the universe, and that is God, Source, the thing itself. As I said before, we acknowledge here that our vision statement is supporting individuals finding their personal self-empowerment through a spiritual awakening. We practice that by becoming conscious of who we know ourselves to be as spiritual beings, how we show up in the world and act and react and interact with life itself. And then by consciously using the law or laws of life, meaning that we live in a universe that is governed by spiritual law. So the very things that we think and act upon and react upon and interact with comes back to us in form or experience or condition in life. And so the age-old statement of change your thinking, change your life is an outpicturing of this very way of living. That if what shows up in our life isn't something that is reflective of the very things that we desire to experience, then it is incumbent upon us to go back in and change our thinking, to change our mind, and have faith in the universe that it'll do its part so that life itself will indeed change. The message that I'm going to share this morning for us is reflective of that, and I'm really looking forward to sharing it for you all and knowing that you'll be a bit surprised when you have the opportunity to hear it. You'll hear more about that in a minute. But we open our service every Sunday morning with a morning ritual. It's called Calling in the Light. The purpose of this ritual is for us to remember who we are as divine beings, to remember that there's only one thing that's ever taking place. And then as a community, we honor the light that exists within all sentient beings. And so when we say calling in the light, it's an act of namaste, the light, the power, the source, the thing itself within me, honors and acknowledges that within you. As a community, we are inclusive. And so this morning I invite us to call in the light in an inclusive way and to honor the different faiths of the world and to bring to mind as we sit in this moment between the two conventions politically that have taken place or are taking place in our country. To remember that this is a time for inclusivity, a time for honoring all of humanity, and to honor those who have different philosophical and spiritual beliefs than we do. And so in our mind's eye, let's all light a candle. seeing the spark of the candle as we ignite it, letting that be a representation of the light that exists within you and within me and within all of humanity. I invite you to bring into your mind's eye an individual that represents each of these faiths that I speak of in this ritual. For today, we light the candle for the Tao, honoring the universal path of harmony and equilibrium, the natural way. We light this candle for the shamanic traditions, honoring the beliefs and practices of all indigenous peoples, the way of primal spirituality. We light this candle for Hinduism, honoring the path of knowledge, action, and devotion. We light this candle for Judaism, honoring the ethical path of living by sacred law. We light this candle for all forms of Buddhism, honoring the path of submission to the will of God as the highest calling. And we light this candle for all forms of Islam, honoring the path of submission to the will of God as the highest calling. We light this candle for the universalistic religion of Baha'i, honoring the path of unity and peace. For some reason, I feel like I left out Christianity, so I'm going to repeat that if I didn't. We light this candle for all forms of Christianity, honoring the Christ consciousness as the path of love. And we light this candle for all forms of new thought, honoring the metaphysical path of mental healing through the practice of universal spiritual principles. And we light this candle also calling it the healing candle. I invite you once again to bring into your mind's eye an individual that represents each of these faiths, as well as to take a moment and think of someone that you would like to silently put into the light of the healing flame, which may include yourself, so that all may experience the eternal and everlasting love of the divine. Yaron will now guide us in a song of Let There Be Peace on Earth, using this song as a calling, an affirmation for what we're here to do today.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be, with God as creator, united all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my solemn vow. To take each moment and live each moment with peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me.
And so, yes, peace indeed begins with each one of us. And so in this moment, I know for each one of us that we use peace, the acronym for peace, purposeful energy activates conscious evolution. And so in this particular moment, we are indeed activating an evolution on our planet, in our universe, that is reflective of who we know ourselves to be as spiritual beings. And so, in this very moment, what I know for us is that we consciously give of our energy, of light, of life, of love, of peace, of beauty, of joy, and wisdom, not only to ourselves, but to all of humanity, to all sentient beings. For we know and trust that the very thing that we give in life must return to us multiplied abundantly, because this is indeed how the universe works. And so we do our part today consciously. We do our part compassionately. We do our part wisely. And we do our part freely. And good is indeed propagated. And for that, we're thankful that we have the opportunity to do so, to play a role, and to be peace in action. And we let it be as we say together, amen, and so it is. Thank you, Yaron. So now we have the most delightful opportunity to have Leah and Ira share their music with us today. And what a great opportunity we have to have them here today and to not only share their talent, but they're such a gift, and to present this particular song as they come online. They may need me to give them, there they are. Tell us the title of the song you're singing, please, Ira and Leah.
So this is Fields of Gold by Sting. And we chose this song because it paints a picture full of vitality, in which someone is reminiscing about his rich and vibrant life, and it inspires all of us to actively savor every moment in our lives.
Oh, thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, Leah and Ira.
You remember me when the west wind moves on the fields of barley. You'll forget the sun in his jealous sky as we walk in fields of gold. So she took her love for to gaze a while upon the fields of barley. In his arms she fell as her hair came down, and among the fields of gold. Will you stay with me? Will you be my love? On the fields of barley, we'll forget the sun in his jealous sky as we lie in fields of gold. See the west wind move as a love sow upon the fields of barley. Feel her body rise when you kiss her mouth, and among the fields of gold. Never made promises lightly. There have been some that I've broken, but I swear in the days still left, we'll walk in fields of gold. We will walk in fields of gold. Many years have passed since those summer days on the fields of barley. See the children run as the sun goes down, and among the fields of gold, we will walk in we who walk in fields of gold.
Oh, so beautiful. Thank you. You can tell that you both really enjoyed singing that song. So you went away. Ira and Leah, thank you so much. We're looking forward to seeing you after the message, and that song is really wonderful, and it does speak to all of us of the fields of gold of life that exist for us, no matter where we're at on this journey of finding our personal self-empowerment through a spiritual awakening. So I have a fun gift for us all this morning. Speaking of fields of gold, just recently I was contacted by Congregation Kolami, the building that we call our home, and unfortunately haven't been in for quite some time, that there was some changes taking place in the storage area of the building, and they had moved everything down to the second floor and needed someone from our team to go in and go through all that had been put in storage and has been moved from place to place over the years. And of course that became my opportunity to do so, and I chose to go in and do it in the vein and in the sense that I would find gold, fields of gold. And indeed I did. I came across a box of talks that had been written by Dr. David Walker, our founding minister. And so I found one that I want to share this morning. And I'm going to give this talk as not as if I'm Dr. David Walker, but I'm going to give it to you word for word as he wrote it. I invite you all to reminisce and remember the times that he did this from stages around Los Angeles and certainly through California and the various places he traveled. The components of some of this talk, as you will see, are timely relative to when this talk was given. I'm not sure exactly when it was, but when you hear the components of it, you'll realize that it was certainly predated smartphones. And so with that, please indulge me as I read this talk and give it to you this morning. Titled, "Is There Film in Your Camera?" He writes, the title of my talk this morning is there film in your camera? Not to be confused with, is there lead in your pencil? Is there a bee in your bonnet? Or is there a tiger in your tank? I lifted this title, he wrote, from an article that appeared in one of those newspapers that advertised everything from finding one's own personal moon priestess to owning your own dream request pillow. Now, I would be the last one to make fun of, which isn't true, he would be the first one, but he would say, now I would be the last one to make fun of some of the new age ways of creating a happy life, but listen to this. Dream request pillows. Be definite. Write what you want on your dream request pillow for $39.95 and sleep on it overnight. Miraculous results guaranteed. Please. I wonder what kind of results you get if you only take a nap. Actually, he writes, the article that I lifted my title from was an article about the apocalypse, and it was entitled, and he puts in quotation marks, and this really made me laugh, "The end of the world is coming in 5 years. Is there film in your camera?" Now, the more you think about this question, the funnier it gets. So the title of my talk is there film in your camera? And I want to use this title in conjunction with something that happened to me. We all know that it's been raining a lot lately. One day, a couple of weeks ago, it stopped raining and the city was clear of all smog. As I drove to work, I came upon a view of downtown Los Angeles that was breathtaking. And I said to myself, I wish I had my camera with me. Well, the next morning, I took my camera, and sure enough, there it was again. The sky, the skyline, and me with my camera. Can you guess where this story is going? Of course. I had a camera, but there was no film in it. Hence the title, Is There Film in Your Camera? And what I'd like to do is liken the camera to mind, and the film to mind's contents. You see, it takes more than a mind to succeed. It takes a mind that has prepared itself to succeed. A mind that contains what is necessary to succeed. Now today, when I use the word succeed in this for Dr. Walker, I invite you to insert any other word that you would like. To be healthy, to be prosperous, to be loving, to be mindful. He goes on to write, a mind that has embodied not necessarily every aspect of success, but enough aspects of success to tip the scales in favor of success. The analogy of the camera and the film is perfect because capturing the beauty of the day is dependent not only on having a camera, but having film in that camera. The film that was in the camera doesn't count. The film that will be in the camera doesn't count. It's what's in the camera now that counts. Capturing the kind of life you desire is dependent on your mind, what's inside now. All of us fulfill the first prerequisite. We have a mind. It's what's in our minds that we should be concerned with. You see, some of us are showing up every morning with a camera, but no film. And we are assuring either that the film that once was in our camera will be good enough for today, or the film that we intend to put in our cameras will be good enough for today. Now, both of these assumptions are called self-deception. It's like saying, I'm going to bake a cake without ingredients, or with the memory of ingredients from the past. Now, we all know a good cake depends on good ingredients, and a good life depends on good mental ingredients. What your mind did, or what your mind plans to do, has some power, but not nearly as much power as what your mind is doing now. If a camera is to take a picture, there must be film in the camera now. If a mind is to create a successful life, there must be many qualities of success in that mind, and they must exist as more than memories or as good intentions. They must exist as vital, dynamic, powerful qualities of success that exist in the present. How many qualities of success does it take? When the majority of our thoughts, beliefs, and attitudes embody success, then we succeed. We should dedicate ourselves to success. The idea of success, the feeling of success, the rightness of success, the naturalness of success, and realize that it does take dedication. But success encompasses more than the word success. It encompasses commitment, cooperativeness, integrity, generosity. You can't feel successful if you don't feel generous. Someone once said, success is your birthright. That's like saying air is your birthright. Is it? Yes. But you're the one that has got to breathe it. Yes, it is your birthright to experience success, but it's not going to be handed to you as a reward for being alive. Showing up for life every morning may be important, but it takes more than showing up for rehearsal to put on a good show. We must make a personal investment in our lives, a personal investment in success. Why? Because the universe doesn't honor what we are moderately interested in. It honors what we've given ourselves to. I often say, Our identity doesn't have to be worked for, it only has to be recognized. I often say, you deserve success just because you exist. Both of these statements are true, but that doesn't mean that our existence alone will cause success. Yes, your identity is unchangeable. Yes, you are birthless, deathless, changeless spirit. And yes, there is nothing you can do to make yourself more of spirit, and nothing you can do to make yourself less of spirit. Your identity then is permanently established and therefore doesn't have to be worked for. And you deserve success. You deserve success because of your identity, but you'll not experience what you are or what you deserve, and neither will I. Why? Because the creative power that gave us life loved us enough to let us experience the thrill of its creativity in our own way. First, we identify with its creative ability, and then we embody every subtlety regarding success. It's then not really a matter of deserving success. Every person walking the face of the earth deserves to succeed. But it is only the ones who have used the power of their own minds to cause success who will succeed. It's only the ones who embody many qualities of success that will succeed. It's only the ones whose thoughts, attitudes, and beliefs embody success that will succeed. It's not so much that we have no concept of success in our minds. It's that often there is as much that contradicts success in our minds as there is that which affirms success. What thoughts occupy the majority of your mind? What attitudes occupy the majority of your mind? What beliefs occupy the majority of your mind? Goethe wrote, "The greatest evil that can befall man is that he should come to think ill of himself." I repeat that. The greatest evil that can befall a human is that they should come to think ill of themselves. So let's ask ourselves today, what occupies more space in your mind? Thoughts which inspire, encourage, and influence you in a constructive way, or thoughts which make you think less and less of yourself? The question begs, why do we think ill of ourselves? Because we don't think the truth about ourselves. The truth is that neither our identity or what we deserve is altered by what we think, say, or do. But we must know this and not let anything or anyone make us think ill of ourselves. Now, maybe we think ill of ourselves because we believe God thinks ill of us. Dr. Holmes, the founder of the Science of Mind, wrote this: "If there is any doubt in your mind as to whether or not God or life wishes you to have the best, ask yourself, could God or life, who is freedom, conceive restriction? Could God or life, who is limitless, conceive lack, want, limitation, or bondage? Could God or life, who is perfect life, conceive anything that limits the joy of living?" We are individualizations of this power, of God, of life, that deserve more success than we will ever realize. But even God, life, the power, cannot trespass upon the supremacy of mind that God, the power, has given us to cause success if we are not embodying success, or fill in the blank of the word you've chosen for today. We will only experience as much success or peace or power or health or abundance or goodwill as we can embody. You see, if our minds are filled with both a desire to succeed and ill thoughts about ourselves, success will be hard to come by. Without realizing it, we may be pitting success against failure. Which will win? Well, which do we embody more? We ought to be about the business of getting rid of every ill thought about ourselves. But remember this, what's important is what fills the majority of our mind. It's quite possible to postpone success until we feel that every last shortcoming is erased. If you think you might be doing this, then put new film in your camera and think again today. Go for the majority vote. Though we ought to be moving toward creating a landslide of 100% in regards to our own thoughts of success, we only need a majority. We only need a majority of our thoughts of success. Do most of your thoughts embody what's wrong with you or what's right with you? Do you find yourself spending more time thinking about the times you failed or the times you've succeeded? It may be time to put some new film in your camera and think again. The question is, how did you come to the conclusion that there was something wrong with you to begin with? Is it your own self-talk, or have you been listening to someone that has assessed you in a negative way? Let's remember, it's not because someone has assessed us in a negative way that makes us fail. It's because on some level we agree with them. Well, put some new film in your camera and take another look. They may not have been criticizing you. Maybe they were just critical of something you did or something you said. And because they pointed it out to you, you allowed your identity to be tampered with. Well, what's the solution? Separate yourself. Separate yourself from the criticism and see it as it is. Simply someone's opinion. An opinion that can only become a problem to you if you accept it as your own opinion. And even if you suspect that the person was not making a comment on what you did or said, they were making a comment on you, let it go. Let it go. Think of people's opinions like darts. Regardless of where they're directed or why, stay out of the way. Don't be mentally present to embody someone's negative opinion about you. It's their opinion. Let them own it. The point is, we must not think ill of ourselves for any reason whatsoever. For years, people have believed that the greatest barrier to success was one of three things: lack of talent or ability, lack of contacts, or lack of money. But this is not true. The biggest barrier to success is that we allow so much into our minds that contradicts success. Yes, we allow ourselves to think ill of ourselves, but there are many other thoughts which contradict success, such as, there's not enough good to go around, it's only the pretty people who get the jobs, You've got to have money to make money. I've done everything I can. It's not meant to be. Nobody wants a real friend in this city. My parents made me the mess I am. My agent doesn't like me. The world doesn't accept me. And God doesn't even remember that they created me. If these kinds of ideas occupy the majority of your mind, then there's work to do. Put film in your camera and set out to experience your own creative ability in a new way. And you do this with new thoughts right now. We have to start thinking thoughts like, I am both confident and competent because I individualize the mind of God. I am prepared to meet life today. I am committed to my life, my goals, by myself. I have everything it takes to function effectively. Everything I do prospers and succeeds because I embody success as a present reality. I am competent to think, to choose, to chart the course of my life. I am satisfying my own needs. And it is appropriate that I be happy. It is appropriate that I love and be loved. It's appropriate that I am prosperous. It is appropriate for me to be healthy. I am equal to every demand upon me today. I persevere in my own vision, and the only reinforcement I need is a knowledge of a divine principle in me, waiting for me to put film in my camera and take the picture. I am a committed, cooperative, generous purpose. I am not afraid to be proud of who I am. I am not afraid to express myself. I am not afraid to stretch beyond my present experience, and I affirm I am successful right now. So it's important for us to remember that the mere desire for success is not enough. We must make ourselves ready for the success, or the health, or the prosperity, or the love, or the clarity, or the goodwill that we desire. And we do this. We make ourselves ready by changing the content of what's in our mind. Some people believe that there is something intrinsically wrong with mankind, and therefore intrinsically wrong with them. If you think this is true, you'll spend the rest of your life trying to become all right. The only person that needs to think of you as all right and successful is you. And the only way of securing the sense of all rightness and successfulness on a permanent basis is to stop dealing with opinions and start accepting the truth. So today is today for you and I to know that we're dealing with a God that could never think of us in any other way than perfect. And to remember that there is a principle that responds by corresponding to the majority of our thinking. I don't believe that into every person's life a little rain must fall. If you believe that, stop. I believe that into every person's life there is good falling every day. Good that we don't even see because we have not embodied the thoughts, the beliefs, and the attitudes that enable us to see it. So instead of asking, is there film in your camera? I could ask you, do you have the consciousness of what you desire in your life today? And if you don't, are you about the business of creating it? You don't need a moon priestess or a moon pillow. What you need, you already have. A mind that is ready to develop the consciousness of your desires. So, put film in your camera, not because this is the end of the world, but because this is the beginning of a new life. And so it is. So let's take a moment and take a deep breath in and just honor Dr. David Walker on his journey. And for those of us that engaged and encountered with him and studied and learned from him, one of the great teachers of all times of metaphysics, we simply say thank you. And so it is. So I'd like to welcome back Leah and Ira to bless us again with beautiful music.
Okay, so this is our second song is Viva la Vida, and it means long live life. It was written by Coldplay. I think this is really interesting, about King Louis, and as a letter of apology to his people, accepting his fate at the end of his reign. And it's really about like his trials and tribulations and all the glory of literally being king and reigning, ruling the world. And you can tell that despite what people thought of him, he regrets nothing. And you'll hear that in these lyrics.
I used to rule the world. The seas would rise when I gave the word. In the morning I sleep all alone. Sweep the streets I used to roam. I used to roll the dice, feel the fear in my enemy's eyes, listen as the crowd would sing. Now the old king is dead, long live the king. One minute I held the key, next the walls were closed on me, and I discovered that my castle stands on pillars of salt, pillars of sand. Here Jerusalem bells are ringing, Roman cavalry choirs are singing. Be my mirror, my sword and shield, our missionaries in a foreign field. For some reason I can't explain, once you go there was never an honest word. That was when I ruled the world. Wicked and wild wind blew down the doors to let me in. Shattered windows and the sound of drums. People couldn't believe what I had become. Revolutionaries wait, while my head on a silver plate, just a puppet on a lonely string. Oh, who would ever want to be free? Here Jerusalem bells are ringing, Roman cavalry choirs are singing. Be my mirror, my sword and shield, my missionaries in a foreign field. For some reason I can't explain, once you go there was never an honest word. That was when I ruled the world. Oh,
Fantastic. Thank you so much. So wonderful. Thank you so much. So how does it feel? I know you said in our rehearsal the other day, it feels so good to make music again.
Yeah.
Feels good?
It's great.
Well,
We've been parenting every day in, day out.
so
Yeah.
your beautiful little daughter, she's 8 weeks old now?
Yeah, just about. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And her name is Shiri, which means "song of my soul" in Hebrew.
Wow. Well, thank you for sharing your soul with us today. It's really beautiful. And we as a family love you very much and appreciate you very much and celebrate you very much. So thank you for being here. It's just really great to have you with us today. So stay cool out there in the land. You guys are here in Los Angeles, right? Yes, well, stay cool in this crazy hot weather. So
That's right.
yeah, so thank you for being here. So feel free to join at the end as well. So now is time in our service to support our community financially, and you'll see on the screen in just a moment the ways to do that and your options. We'll first, I'll go over them with you, and then Yaron will sing a song with us while it gives us the time to do that. You can go to our website, which is CSL-LA.org, and click on Donate, and that'll take you through an electronic version of a way to support us financially. Unfortunately, there's a challenge with the app this morning, so you won't be able to go there. You can also mail us a check, CSL-LA at 1200 North La Brea Avenue, West Hollywood, 90038, or feel free to call me at another time after the service today, and I can handle it privately for you. Please know that each and every amount of money that you donate and give here is our most deeply appreciated and celebrated and honored and appreciated to keep us continuing to thrive and succeed during these most unique times. So know that it's appreciated. While we all take a moment to go to the various methods of giving right now, and to do that, Yaron will take us through our song, Love is My Decision.
Love is my decision. It's up to me to give up my heart. Love is my decision. No one else can tell me to start. And once I decide to change my mind, Source will show me how. Love is my decision, right here, right now.
And so I affirm for each of us that love indeed is our decision. And so in speaking of our beloved Dr. David Walker this morning, remembering that each and every Sunday morning he would tell us that one cannot give with a clenched fist. And so for each of us today, we open our mind, we open our heart, we open our fist, and give as we open our hand out to the universe. Give good, give love, give light. And as we share our good with the universe, we know that this creative law that was referenced earlier is always doing its part. And so that which we give returns to us multiplied abundantly. And so it is. And so a big thank you to all of you who joined us today via Zoom as well as via Facebook Live. And I apologize if there were challenges getting on this morning with the new link from Zoom. Zoom has all of a sudden decided to change the format. We'll make sure that all of that is updated in all of our communications in the upcoming week, as well as on our website and on our app. You can check out what's going on in our community through CSL-LA.org. Last night there was a comedy show. I don't know if any of you got a chance to watch it or not, but there'll be more activities like that for us as a community, so please be on the lookout for that. A big thank you to our musicians today, Leah, Zeger, and Ira Gonzalez. Thank you for gracing us with your gifts of music today. A big thank you to Yaron Spiwak for your gift of music today, as well as working as a music director to support us with not only our variety of music, but our variety of musicians. A big thank you to Travis Smith, our audio technician, as well as to Robert Hensley, who works in the component of supporting us through social media and administrative and is running Facebook this very moment. So thank you to all four of you. A big shout out to our practitioners. If there's any of you are in the need or would like to have any form of spiritual counseling and or affirmative prayer work, we have practitioners that are trained to meet with you online virtually to support you in your own journey of your spiritual nature and finding your personal self-empowerment. That information can be found on our website, as well as you can find that on our app. And it's also in our weekly e-newsletter that goes out every Tuesday. If you're not receiving that and would like to, you can sign up for that on our website, which again is csl-la.org. We're going to close this morning with a meditation, and after that meditation, we'll disconnect from Facebook, and then we as a community that are on Zoom will have the opportunity to come together and say hello to everyone. And so let's prepare ourselves for meditation. I invite you to close your eyes if that feels comfortable. Become aware of your breath if that feels comfortable. Feel free to inhale through your nose to the count of 3. 1, 2, and 3. Holding. So we then exhale out through our mouth. 1, 2, 3. Continuing the pattern of breath as we inhale and exhale. With our eyes closed, if that feels comfortable, begin to see on our optic screen that space on the back of our eyelids, the darkness that we're peering into, the word gratitude. Let's choose to embody the feelings of gratitude right now. So we inhale together, holding and exhaling. As we go deeper into our soul, our awareness becomes magnified to the things in life we're grateful for. Choosing to embody gratitude as a way of life. As we inhale together, 1, 2, 3, and holding. Exhaling, going deeper, 1, 2, and 3. So we begin to see the word of gratitude and the energy around it begin to take root in our soul. We become aware of the ability to be grateful for the ability to be grateful. As we inhale together again, 1, 2, and 3. And as we exhale, we choose to be grateful for the journey of our own spiritual awakening and every step along the way. As we stay conscious of our breath, we inhale one more time together. 1, 2, and 3. Holding. As we exhale anything and everything that may contradict or prevent us from expressing and being grateful as the week unfolds. We exhale. And so I affirm for each of us gratitude as a way of life. Thoughts of gratitude. Beliefs of gratitude. Attitude of gratitude. And actions of gratitude. And life indeed gets better and better and better. And better. And together we say, and so it is.